Hello and welcome to week 40. If you're still here with me, Mama, I feel you. I am ready. I hope you are ready to meet your beautiful little babe. I talk to my babe every morning and say, we are ready for you. So, you get all the preparations together a couple weeks in advance because we just never know when they're gonna come. But still taking this time each day to connect mind, body, breath, and of course, connect to our baby these last few days is so good. Such a great form of self-care, such a great way to prepare the mind, body, and breath for labor even. So thank you for being here with me. This is our last prenatal yoga video in this series, and then I wish you all the best and all the love and positive energy for a safe, healthy, smooth labor and delivery process, whatever that looks like for you. And we're just gonna make this a really relaxing, restful, restorative practice because that's what our body needs now. We need to rest and save up all that energy for when the new baby is here. So grab some blocks or some books, some big heavy books, and we'll use those to help us. But pretty much we're gonna stay on the floor today. We're not gonna do much standing. We're not gonna do any up and down, no sun salutations. We're just going to ground and feel into the breath and body and make this a really enjoyable last prenatal practice before the babe comes. So coming into a comfortable seat here, nice cross-legged position. I'm gonna switch my cross to the right leg in front because that is least comfortable, my least natural side. So do whatever feels right for you, or if you wanna get that kind of uncomfortable, unbalanced feeling, I'll cue you. We'll switch sides so it doesn't matter where you start. Just come into a comfortable position. Try to feel both sits bones on the earth. So if you need to, peel away the fleshy parts of your bum and sit up nice and tall so we can feel those sacral bones on the earth. Roll the shoulders down the back, sit up nice and tall but not too rigid. And then feel free to close down the eyes or just lower the gaze. Checking in with our breath here. Noticing, observing, but not forcing anything. And now trying to lengthen that breath. So more mindful, intentional inhale through the nostrils. And making that exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. Placing your hands to your belly now. Feeling the belly expand, gently rock the baby on our inhale. And exhale, gently hugging the baby in. Beautiful. One more deep inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. And another one like that. Deep inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful. Bringing your hands to your knees now. Fluttering open the eyes. Rolling the shoulders up to the ears. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then really let them drop. So we're going to do that a few times. We're going to lift the shoulders up to the ears. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Creating a little bit of tension there. And then let them drop. And then a deep exhale with that drop feels really nice. Feels like a good release. Inhale, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Feel that tension. Beautiful. 2 more, just like that. Deep inhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale. Nice. Last one. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale. Let it all out. Good. Dropping chin to chest. And then just looking up, fixing the gaze on the ceiling. So as far back as you're comfortable with going. We're going to move dynamically here. So moving with the breath if you can. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Waking up that cervical spine. Hopefully you all are sleeping without waking up too much in the night. Sometimes when we don't sleep as well, or we're waking up often, or we're flipping over constantly from side to side, our cervical spine, our neck holds tension, and those trapezius muscles, and we feel it the next day. So good to pay attention to those neck muscles. Coming to a neutral spine, so chin is parallel to the floor. We're just going to turn the head to the right and turn the head to the left. As far as your range of motion allows comfortably, it shouldn't feel forced. Especially if you're doing this in the morning, what a great practice to do just to get everything online and working in sync. Kind of like oiling up the Tin Man in the morning. I said to my husband this morning, I feel like a Tin Man. Until I move my body, that is. And bring it back through center, rest, pause, take a breath. And then on our inhale, we're gonna tilt our right ear to our right shoulder. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. And again, just gently flowing with the breath, nothing forced. Beautiful. We should feel a nice deep side stretch. Lovely, and then coming back up through center, chin parallel with the floor. Drop the chin to the chest, roll left ear to left shoulder. Then we're gonna take half neck rolls. So just toward the collarbone, ear to shoulder, roll it the other way, ear to shoulder. Beautiful. One more each way. And coming back up to a neutral spine. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, interlace the hands. Look up, little stretch through the abdomen so we're not overstretching the belly. Maybe a slight back bend. You feel those back muscles engage. Look up, gaze is the ceiling. Exhale, release those hands. Inhale, sweep left arm up and over. Ooh, nice deep side stretch. I felt some snap, crackle, pop there. We are making space. To me, this pregnancy, I don't remember with my last pregnancy, but especially this pregnancy, these side stretches have felt amazing. I don't know if the baby's sitting differently, but I feel like I have no space in my rib cage, and I crave this side stretch. One more deep inhale, look up to the ceiling, heart rotates open, exhale, release, beautiful, inhale, right arm up, exhale, over, create that space, juicy, juicy space for the internal organs that are getting all pushed around. Remember, we're rotating the heart, the shoulder, the armpit to the ceiling. Deep breaths. One more deep inhale. Exhale brings us back up through center. Beautiful. Switching the cross of our legs now, so whichever cross you took first, switcheroo. Hands on the knees for this one. We're gonna take a little seated cat-cow. So inhaling forward, heart shines forward, collarbone opens, pull those shoulder blades back as we look up to the sky. Exhale, round, pull belly button to spine as much as you can, maybe just energetically, and we're tucking the chin to the chest. Inhale, look up, nice front body stretch. Exhale, round it back. Waving through the spine here. Inhale. Exhale, and just moving with your breath. So if you're going slower than me or a bit quicker than me, that is completely fine. This is your practice. Everything I say is a suggestion. I'm just the guide. You are the driver. Do what feels right for your body in this moment. Meeting your body where it's at each day. The goal of yoga is to be in union with breath and body. So really listening to your breath, to your body, to what your body is craving or telling you that day is the goal. One more each way. Exhale. Beautiful, sit up nice and tall. Roll those shoulders out a couple times to the back and a couple times forward. Beautiful. We're just gonna inhale, left arm sweeps open, maybe a slight rotation, and then we're gonna cross that left arm across the front of the body. Right hand sweeps up to catch it. Make sure that left shoulder is down away from the ear. So we don't want to be hugging up. We don't want to have any tension shrugging up. We just tried to release that tension right from our upper neck and our upper back and our shoulders. So keep it nice and cool, calm, and collected. Shoulders down away from the ears. This is just a static stretch here. So breathing into any tightness you might feel. Maybe it's that deltoid muscle. Maybe it's the upper back or the neck still. Coming back to your deep belly breathing whenever we're holding a pose. Sending space to any tightness you might feel. One more deep breath. Exhale, release, expand, arms open wide. Maybe look up to the ceiling. Exhale, switching sides. Right arm comes across. Holding that bind, so the left arm is there to bind it, and then we're just relaxing into the pose. So, sitting up tall and coming back to our belly breath. One more deep inhale. Deep exhale, release. Inhale, sweep arms back. Exhale, sweep arms up to the ceiling. We're gonna wrap those right fingertips around the left wrist. Up and over to the right. Another side stretch variation. Big belly breath. Try to keep that armpit and shoulder shining open to the ceiling and not collapsing toward the floor. One more deep inhale. Exhale, release. Beautiful. Sweep arms up on your next inhale. Wrap left fingertips around right wrist. Extend over to the left. Keep the heart open. We're trying to peek under that arm to the sky. Beautiful. One more deep belly breath. Exhale brings us back through center and gently float those arms down. Lovely. All right, let's extend the legs straight out here. We're just gonna sit up nice and tall, flexing the feet. So pulling the toes toward the ceiling, toward your shins, both sits bones still on the earth. So if you feel like you need to sit propped up on a folded towel or blanket, that's a great option to get our hips nice and even. Grab your towel or blanket. We're just gonna sit up nice and tall. And then we're gonna alternate, pointing one, flexing one, pointing the other, flexing the other. Working down to those ankles now. Hopefully you're not one of those people that swells really bad, and if you are, bringing some circulation and some movement to those lower extremities that tend to swell, especially as we go on throughout our day. This will help. Pull both toes back toward the shins, and then we're going to take big circles to the outside. Beautiful. Big circles to the inside, if you can reverse that direction. Nice job. And then we're gonna open up those legs as far as is comfortable for you. If we can get comfortable this late in the game, feel free to grab your blocks or a pillow or two for support. We're just gonna make sure, again, feel free to pull those fleshy parts of your bum out from under so you can feel those sacral bones firmly flat on the floor or on your blanket. And then we're gonna walk the hands out in front of us. So belly releases, belly relaxes here. Walk those hands as far out as feels comfortable, and then feel free to let your head, neck, and shoulders hang. Go with gravity. Coming back to those deep belly breaths. Beautiful. We're gonna walk those blocks or those hands over to frame the right leg. So we are framing the right leg. So we're trying to get our shoulders framing that right leg as best we can, realizing that the belly might be in the way, and that's completely fine. But that's what we have the support of the blocks for. So feel free to bring them down to your forearms or however it feels comfortable and sustainable for you to be here for a few breaths. Relaxing the belly, focusing on that deep diaphragmatic breath, that deep belly breathing. So we're rocking the baby with our breath. One more deep breath. And then when you're ready, coming back up, walk your hands or your blocks all the way over to the other side. Framing that left leg the best you can. And then exhaling and folding or hanging, just hanging out. Really trying to release through that whole back body. So obviously we're getting a deep stretch through the back of the leg, but you're also getting a nice deep stretch through that lower quadrant of the lower back, upper glute muscle, the QL muscle, which on me has been extremely tight and unstable almost. So giving that some attention feels really good. Rocking the baby with our breath. One more deep inhale. And your exhale brings you back up through center. We're gonna hug that right foot into our left inner thigh. So right foot to the left inner thigh, and then we're just gonna walk our blocks or our hands or our pillows straight out. Holding here, just noticing what feels tight, what feels maybe a little bit more released after those couple of stretches. One more deep inhale. Exhale, walk it back up. We're just gonna switch out those legs. Right leg extends. Left foot comes to the right inner thigh, sitting up nice and tall. And then we walk it straight forward. So we're in this asymmetrical position. Just noticing where we feel the deepest stretch here. Sending our breath to any tight areas that we feel. One more deep inhale. And on your exhale, brings you back up through center. This time we're gonna flip over and just readjust our hips a little bit. So coming into tabletop position, hands right under shoulders, knees right under hips. We're gonna wiggle the tail from side to side, let belly hang. Baby's safe and secure in that nice beautiful hammock of yours. I'm just visualizing the baby being rocked, preparing to make their grand entrance. Beautiful. Pressing up and out of all 10 fingertips, coming to find stillness. We're gonna tuck the toes together and widen those knees. So we're gonna do a dynamic flow in and out of child's pose. So exhaling, stretching back. Inhaling, coming to your elbows and forearms, and then pressing up, dropping the hips forward. Exhale. Slide it forward on those elbows, forearms. Press up. Release the hips. So we're just working on opening up the hips dynamically, meaning with movement. This might feel good in labor. Try all kinds of positions. One more. Hinge forward. Open up, drop the hips. Beautiful. We're gonna bring our right leg forward and off to the side. So it's probably gonna go off your mat. We want it kind of on a diagonal. We're gonna frame the foot, and then we're just gonna do nice big hip circles. Asymmetrically moving like this, and you can feel free to change that direction as often as you like. Will help bring the baby down the pelvis, down toward the birth canal, and help get them in the right position. So if your baby's not already in the right position, maybe your doctor or your midwife's given you some helpful positions to be in, but just opening up the hips in an asymmetrical way like this can help. And just opening up the hips at this point feels really good. Stretching through that lower back and that upper glute area. When you straighten the leg, when you go towards straightening the leg, that feels really good. This is a great position for this late in our trimester. Beautiful. Couple more breaths here. And go ahead and walk those hands in, more underneath of you. Knee comes in, underneath of you. Wiggle those hips out. And then we're gonna take it to the other side. Left foot comes up and forward, almost on that diagonal. So if you're facing your 12 o'clock, your foot's about at your 10 o'clock. Frame the foot and start to make those big circles. You can make them as big or as small as feels good. Listen to your body. Stopping if you feel any real sticky areas and it feels good to stretch. Just really tune in and honor that if your body's asking you for a little extra time in any position. Nice job. One more deep breath cycle. And go ahead and walk those hands back underneath of you. Walk the knees underneath of you. Wiggle those hips out. I'm gonna turn and face the long edge of my mat so I have room to extend my legs, so if you need to as well, turn. We're gonna take that left leg back out, placing the blocks on their lowest setting, coming down to our forearms. We're just gonna seesaw, rock forward and backward. So stretching through the groin, stretching through those adductors, really trying to release now. We're not trying to do any extra contracting, contracting those abdominal or pelvic floor muscles. Now's the time we want to practice letting our body release. So just breathing into a more relaxed position. Beautiful, coming to find stillness, and then bring that knee back underneath of you and extend the other leg, rocking forward and backward. Breathing into it, finding that deep belly breathing. Good job. One more deep inhale. One more deep exhale. And then bringing the leg back underneath of us. Feel free to wiggle those hips. Side to side. Beautiful. Coming back into a seated position. We're going to work the outer hips, stretch the outer hips now. So bring that left leg extended straight out in front of you. Right ankle crosses over the thigh. So this might feel good to you. This might feel like a nice deep outer hip stretch. If it doesn't, take that left foot up and keep it here. Or you can even go for the full pose, fire log pose or cow face pose, stacking those knees or reaching those knees toward stacking, toward stacked position, which will give you a much more intense outer hip stretch. So find any of those variations, whatever works for you. We're gonna be here for a few breaths. Breathing space into that outer hip. Beautiful. One more deep inhale. Deep exhale. Unwind or unwrap the legs. We're going to extend that right leg straight. Left ankle crosses over. You can stay here, or you can bend that right foot. Sit up nice and tall, or if you've got a wall behind you, sit against the wall. This might be all you want, all you need, or if you're up for it and needing a little bit deeper stretch, cross that right leg underneath of you, and feel free to go into the full cow face pose. The goal here is to keep your sits bones on the floor. So if you find you're leaning to one side and your sits bone is not on the floor, then you might want to back out of it just a little bit. Tuning into your breath here. One more deep breath cycle. And when you're ready, uncrossing those legs, coming into a comfortable position, just how we started this practice. So whatever that looks like for you, yogi's choice. Sitting up tall, or maybe you even want to take this lying on your side. Just a nice side lying shavasana to finish would be nice. Would be a perfect way to end this 40-week prenatal series. Closing down the eyes if that feels good to you. Bringing both hands to our belly. Let's send some gratitude and a loving intention to our baby to close out our practice. Recognizing that every journey of pregnancy is different, whether you're a mom of going on 5 or 6, or if this is your first little one. Every journey is special in its own way. Knowing that we'll be with our baby soon, we will meet them very shortly. And the journey will change. Sending some loving gratitude to yourself, to your body, for all that it's capable of doing in this beautiful miracle of bringing us to motherhood. And for you, for taking out the time of your day to do this beautiful self-care practice for you and your baby. And bringing our hands to heart center. And then our thumbs to our third eye, our seat of intuition. Thank you for joining me. My name is Barbie with Summerfit, and blessings for a beautiful, beautiful labor and delivery. Namaste.